Okay, pal, you want smash mouth power and efficiency? Then here's your starting lineup. Ford F-Series, #1 for 37 years straight. Talk about a dynasty, baby. Hey, it's game time, sports fans, at the Bill Ford Tough Sales Event.
And good afternoon, everyone, from the lobby of Bruner Motors on the corner of the South Loop and Lillian Street in Stephenville. We'll be here until 12:30. Make sure you stop by. Plenty of free food, courtesy of the pizza place. We have refreshment and Tarleton athletic giveaways later in the half hour. The Coach Lonn Reisman radio show is sponsored by the Bruner Auto family, so we thank them for their support in making the show possible. We're also going to hear from senior forward Davenate Carter later in the show. So lots going on here at Bruner Motors. Coach, a week of both ups and downs. You lose in the second round of the conference tournament, but 2 days later you get a 1 seed and you host the regional tournament. Was it a roller coaster of emotions this week?
Well, it was, Casey. I mean, it's you know, the conference tournament is a great experience, and you always want to go in there and try to win the thing. But you know, we did cut down the nets here at home for the conference regular season championship, which we've talked about means a lot to us. And then you turn right around, go on the road up there, and you know, we beat an Eastern New Mexico team that you know we have a lot of respect for. And then of course that game against Commerce went right down to the last shot.
And let's get the show kicked off by talking about those 2 games in the Lone Star Conference tournament in Allen. This was Tarleton's 4th consecutive trip to the tournament. They're 17th overall. It gets kicked off with a matchup against number 8 seed Eastern New Mexico. You won that game 80-50. And did that margin of victory surprise you a bit?
Well, it did. It did because you know, we had seen Eastern New Mexico on tape. They had played 3 very, very competitive games, including one against us, 10 points here, and then played West Texas to 10, and they played Commerce to 6. And so we had a lot of, you know, they were really playing well coming in, and it was you know, a game that I didn't expect to be that type of point differential.
Malcolm Hamilton led the team with 21 points, 4 steals, and 8 rebounds in just 21 minutes. How much of a spark did he provide off the bench?
Well, you know, that's what we're using him for right now. Malcolm's very versatile for us right now. You know, he's playing the 3 and the 4, and we're trying to move him into certain areas that, you know, he can be successful for us, you know, both defensively and offensively, and he's given us that scoring punch that we need.
You outscored the Greyhounds by 22 in the paint. You shoot 52%, coach, and you out-rebound them by 28 boards. Needless to say, you won a lot of games with those kind of statistics.
No doubt, you know, and hopefully, you know, that we want to continue to do that as we go into the postseason.
And Eastern New Mexico head coach Scott Walker, coach, I found out he'll get a chance to lead that team next year. He's faced a mountain of adversity. Isn't the interim head coach this year? Any words that you shared with him during the tournament?
Well, he just told me that he's doing a good job this year. It's been a tough year as being an interim, and now he's got that tag off, and I think he's going to do a great job for them. He's very sold on Eastern New Mexico. He's sold on the city of Portales. And that's the kind of guy you want coaching for you, a person that wants to be there.
So you advanced to the semifinals for the 6th consecutive season. You faced the number 4 seed in 22-7 Texas A&M Commerce. A team coach you faced 5 days prior to at Wisdom Gym. You talked a little bit about that game, and Commerce played much better, especially in the first half.
Yeah, you know, they came out and you know, they played very well in the first half. We didn't play as sharp as we have been, Casey, and I thought, you know, we went in at halftime. We talked to tried to make some adjustments at halftime. Came back out. And really thought we played a great. I thought we played a great defensive game all night long to give Commerce just 53 points. But the second half, they only had 18 points, 19% shooting from the floor. It was one of our kind of a strange night for us because we were 8 for 20 from the floor in the first half, and we were 8 for 20 from the floor in the second half. You're talking about 2 more shots, and you're 50% each half. And I can tell you a couple of easy shots that we missed in the first half, and I can tell you a couple of shots that didn't go down in the second half that was, you know, should have went in there. We could have easily been, instead of 8 for 20 or 16 for 40, we could have been 20 for 40 very easily. And so, you know, that was some encouragement to me because I know that we're a better shooting team than we showed when we were there during that game.
Anthony Adams, with 28 seconds left, misses a shot. You get a big defensive stop.
Yeah.
You call a 30-second timeout. Run us through the game plan in the huddle and what you wanted to try to do.
Well, you know, when we first got it, you know, we were just setting up some things that we could get people in positions that we felt like could, you know, get the ball into people's hands that we wanted in there. And, you know, with the 8th second, I think it was 9 seconds left, we called a timeout, and we got the ball into Mo's hands. And he's, you know, not only one of our best penetrators, and you know, he shoots the ball well. He's made some big shots for us this year. He made one at West Texas. He made one against Drury. He made some big shots for us this year. And he's also one of our best passers. You know, he creates a lot off the dribble. And you know, again, if you look at it, I thought the shot would go in. I really did. I had a lot of confidence when that thing went up. I thought it was going to go through and we were going to win. And it's just one of those nights when it did go through.
Definitely an off night for Mo. Just one made shot from the field in 37 minutes. But as a head coach, you have to stick with the guys that kind of per se got
sure.
you.
You got to take, you know, you got to stick with the people that got you to where you're at. And had a lot of confidence in him having the ball in his hands. And have a lot of confidence in a lot of our guys. And you know, we were in position. We knew we hadn't played a great game, but we were still in position to win a game at 53-51, and had time to get the shot, and had time to look at what we wanted to do. And you know, you can always go back and say, well, I wish we would have done this, and I wish we would have done that. But you can't. You know, you have to believe in what you're doing. And the main thing with 8 seconds to go, Casey, there's not a lot of time to run a certain play with 8 seconds to go. You don't want the shot clock to run out or the game clock to run out. The main thing is, can I get a shot, and what's the best shot can I get with 8 seconds to go?
Tarleton falls in the second round of the 2015 Lone Star Conference Tournament by a final of 53-51. How do you approach the season after a loss like this? Because you know you're going to live to see another day. What was your message to the guys?
Well, the message is that, you know, we're going to go on to the next season. You know, you have the regular season, you have the conference postseason, now you have the NCAA season, and you're going on to the postseason, and that's what you work for all year to, is get to the NCAA tournament. It's very hard to get there. I think in the South Central region, there's like 33 or 36 teams that want to get to the, you know, want to make the big dance, and to think that in the whole South Central region that we were able to be the #1 seed in this region, it's very, very tough, especially with the conference and how strong it was this year with Commerce and Western and Angelo and the teams that are so good in this league this year. And you know, it was a great accomplishment for our kids to have that opportunity. We played a very good schedule, and I think that we were rewarded for the type of schedule we played.
You're now 27-3 overall. You win 14 out of your last 15, and no doubt that you earned that #1 seed in the South Central region.
It was, you know, it was a shock to us. I mean, you really think about it, it's kind of, I have to remind myself, I don't think we had lost a basketball game since January 12th. And that's almost 2 months ago. And to think that what we had to go through and not lose a game in almost 2 months, it was just, you know, it's kind of, you can't comprehend that. I mean, these kids have worked so hard and what we've done, and maybe, you know, it shook us up a little bit. There's no doubt about it. And I think that we went back to practice this week, and we have to refocus ourselves, and we have to realize that, you know, we have to play at a high level if you're going to continue to advance.
Coach, on the Tuesday night, they had the conference awards banquet. Just a quick note, Mohammed Lee named to the first team of the Lone Star Conference, Mike Hards the second team, Damian Clemens the all-defensive team, and maybe the award you could be most proudest of, the Lone Star Conference Academic Player of the Year, Jakob Domstra, the first time in school history you won that award.
Yeah, I was very proud of that. You know, we're so proud of it. You know, that's what we're here to be, student athletes, and you get a player that is the best academic student athlete in men's basketball in the whole conference, and he comes from Tarleton State. That makes you very proud.
That is our first segment here on the Coach Lonn Reisman Radio Show. We'll take a 1-minute break. When we return, we'll talk to the dark horse dunker himself, Davin Carter, when Tarleton Texan basketball continues right after this. Time now for this week's Tarleton Player Spotlight. Today's guest has appeared in 107 games over the past 4 years for Tarleton. He scored 650 points to go along with 460 rebounds, the third most rebounds by any Texan over the past 10 years. You probably know him as currently one of the 2 finalists for across the country in the Dark Horse Dunker competition. Let's give a big hand and welcome senior forward from Duncanville, Davin Carter. All right, congratulations from 16 to 2.
Yeah, it's been a long road, and it's been hard to, you know, just focus on basketball and then trying to make it all the way to the finals in the Dark Horse Dunker competition.
Well, it's like you're running for Congress at the same time as you're trying to win a national championship.
Yeah, because Coach Reisman, we had me running around all over school before practice trying to get votes.
You might be. You could probably, if you wanted to run for student body president, you'd probably win hands down now.
You know, thinking I just might.
16 players from Division I, Division II, Division III, and NAIA. Davin started in this competition over a month ago. And in the finals, it's 2 players from the Lone Star Conference. What does that say about the conference itself?
It says a lot about the conference. Obviously, we have 2 of the top athletes as far as the lower divisions go, and like the support behind us is tremendous.
Do you have to remind Antoine sometimes that you had to beat 3 Division I opponents to get here?
I think he already knows. I mean, it's really nothing I have to say. I know him, but it ain't really like we know each other on a personal level. It's just like a mutual thing.
Yeah, and you beat 3 Division I players to get here. How much credit of that goes to Tarleton fans?
Yeah, Tarleton fans get all the credit. I just send a tweet, coaches send a tweet, y'all will post something, and then Tarleton fans do the rest of it. And they do more of the promoting than I do. You know, they got friends all over the world, all over the country, and they be trying to tell their friends, parents, you know, siblings, and everybody that they know to vote for me.
Speaking of friends from across the country, did it surprise you yesterday when you got out of practice and NBA Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman had said, "I voted for Davante Carter," and tweeted that out.
Yeah, when I seen that, it was me and Clem. We just started laughing. And we was walking to the room, and he was like, "What if he tells Jordan?" And then we
I think Dennis Rodman has 245,000 Twitter followers. If
Yeah.
if he can get Jordan to tweet it, you're
yeah,
gonna win.
and I was like, "Yeah, that'll be it. We got Jordan behind us. We win."
Well, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat to play for a head coach that has those kind of.
Exactly. And I'm not discrediting Robin, but I'm just saying.
Let's assume that you were in a debate with, of course, if you're in a political debate, one podium here, another podium here, and you're debating Antoine Ball, and they ask you for your closing statement, why should you win over Antoine? What would you say?
I didn't have time to prepare for this.
Yeah, I probably should have given you a heads up on this, but I mean, why Davante Carter over Antoine Ball?
Better looking.
Better what? Better look. Oh, I'm not saying better looking. That was someone else.
Yeah, that's
Because some people have said, and we all know Antoine's a heck of an athlete, a great dunker, but a lot of folks have said, well, Davante has proven in big game situations that he can make big dunkers.
Yeah, and I would move that forward. Even in pressure situations, the game really never changed for me. If it's a dunk there, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, and I'll give you an example. In your clip on that video, you got an alley-oop dunk in the Lone Star Conference Tournament Championship game against Midwestern last year. And nothing negative over Antoine, but those are big game dunks that you've done. So you're against Antoine Ball this week. You've got, last time I checked it was, I think, 51 to 49?
49.
It's going down to the wire.
Yeah.
Tell people how they can vote and when the deadline is and all that good stuff.
Everyone, you can vote 3 times a day with your Twitter, Facebook, and email. It closed after 12 o'clock tonight. You can vote again with your 3 votes. If you have multiple emails, you can sign in with those and continue to keep voting. It closes at 12 o'clock afternoon tomorrow. And
it's going to be posted probably by 12:01, and we'll know if you will head to Indianapolis on April 2nd, part of the NCAA Division I Final Four, to compete on ESPN. What would that mean to Tarleton as a whole if you can get in that contest?
It would mean a lot, because when I get there, I'm just going to be Tarleton everything. Like, I'm going to try my best to just let people know, like, where I'm from and why I'm here. And if I don't win the competition, I'm going to get real close to it. And the plan is to win it.
Actually, the guy that won the Dark Horse last year won the whole thing.
Yeah, it's been like that the last 3 years, if I'm not mistaken.
And so, obviously, your chances going in as kind of the underdog in that contest on April 2nd would be great. Have you started to think of some special dunks yet?
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of things. I'm ready to put into play, but right now I'm working on the postseason right now. So when we finish out, then I'll work over it.
So that's the Dark Horse Dunker Contest. We're going to, Davin and I are now going to talk a little bit about the season. During your 4-year tenure in Tarleton, you made the NCAA tournament every year. One thing you hadn't done prior to this year, though, is win that conference title in the regular season outright. How much did that win on March 1st mean to you?
It meant a lot, and it was crazy that we didn't make it. It wasn't not discredited in Commerce, but we went in there. We won several games prior to that. We beat them by a good margin the last time we played them, and just going in there, we was like, okay, just handle business again. And last year, that was a team that we lost to them. We didn't host the regional, and losing that game, it was like not again. So it meant a lot to us as far as the seniors win, as far as Mike, he was upset in the locker room. We had people crying. It was just like the season's not over. We got to pick our head up, and we still got more games to play.
And Davin talking about that loss in the semifinals last Friday to Commerce by 2 points. How much did that loss sting, and how have the guys reacted?
The guys reacted. The reaction now is well, but then it was hurt, pain. It was unbelievable to really believe because we haven't lost in so long, and that's a feeling that we really haven't felt. And after that loss, it was like really humbling. Like we'd rather lose then than now.
No doubt.
Yeah, you lose.
You get
now,
to live another day.
Exactly.
Now, another thing you've never done at Tarleton. You've done a lot in 4 years. You've never won a conference regular season championship outright. You do that. You've never hosted the regional tournament. What was the feeling when you saw that video board Sunday night and saw number 1 seed Tarleton State?
I say the best moment of that was Clem's face, because he was just in shock. Like, he didn't believe it. Even when we talked after the locker room, he was still in shock. But you could tell he was just overjoyed. He just didn't know how to express himself. That's just come from it was like a long time coming. We worked hard in practice. It's been so much to just get us here. And for the beginning of the season with the team we had, you wouldn't think it would look like the team we have now.
Your freshman year, you went to Midwestern State. The last 2 years, you've been to Metro State. Does it put more pressure on you as a player, knowing that regional is going to be played in your gym?
Not at all. If anything, it just puts me at ease, because now I get to play in front of people that love me. you know. so it's,
Well, I think that's probably true. I've never met anybody who didn't like Devin Carter. You know, I wish I could say the same thing about myself.
no, everybody loves you.
Yeah, you'll face the number 8 seed, 20-9 St. Mary's Rattlers. Just real quick, talk about that matchup with St. Mary's. You played them back on December 6th. What do you remember about that team?
That was a good team. They had a good guard, and he really looked like he just scored well. It was like a lot of penetrating. It was like a lot of collapses, and he found people. He's a good player, and it's a lot. We're gonna do a lot of game planning for him, and we're gonna come to work, basically. The last time we played, we had a different team then. We have a better team now, and it was the same thing for them. I'm not discrediting them. They've got better too, so it's gonna be a good game.
Final question. I'll give you one more opportunity I've never seen a crowd this big at a coach's show. For everyone here and everyone listening, your last final pitch to vote for Devin Carter. The floor is yours.
Okay, I'll promote that everybody votes for Devin Carter because I'm putting on for Tarleton, I'm putting on for Stephenville. We've been a community and a school that's done several great things in our past, and this is just something to put us out there even more. We've never been really credited for the things that we've done, even though we've tried our hardest. We always have great sportsmanship and everything, and Tarleton really never gets the attention and the respect it deserves.
It wouldn't surprise me to see this guy be Mayor Carter, Congressman Carter, Senator Carter, Governor Carter. Davin, thanks for your time. Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks for having me.
That is senior forward Davin Carter. Back in 1 minute as Coach and I will preview the NCAA tournament when Tarleton Texan basketball continues right after this. Time now to preview the 2015 South Central Regional Championship that will be held at Wisdom Gym for the first time since 2008. But before we do that, Coach, so many people don't realize the hard work that goes on behind the scenes. It's a lot of work to host this tournament, is it not?
Oh, definitely. In case we have so many people working on this right now, it's just our whole administrative staff, and I could go down through every one of them. Troy is up there, Terry, Susan, Kathy, yourself, Nathan. It's just there's a multitude of people that are working on this right now to make this thing, the quality that we expect of Tarleton. And I think the schools that are coming in here, the other 7 universities that get a chance to come into Stephenville, Texas, and come into Tarleton State are going to be impressed with the way that we put this tournament on and the class that this tournament will have.
There's 4 first-round games played on Saturday at Wisdom Gym, Coach. It gets started at noon. Number 3 seed Texas A&M Commerce against number 6 seed Angelo State. Very tough to play a team twice in 1 week. I think they played 3 times in 2 weeks. You've had to do that before, though.
We've done it many times, and we know what that's like. We've done the same thing where we played a team 4 times in 1 year, and had to play a team back to back from one game to going to the conference tournament. The NCAA tournament, and it's very tough to do. And then that's one of the things that you see in Division II more than Division I when you get matched up like that. It just makes it's very tough. And, it just becomes out who's the team who's mentally tough enough to get through it.
Commerce defeated Angelo State in the Lone Star Conference Tournament Championship game. On the other side of the top half of the bracket, it is number 2 seed at Metro State at 26-5 overall against number 7 seed Midwestern State at 21-8. And obviously Metro will be a heavy favorite in that one, but you can never count Midwestern State out.
Never count Midwestern State out. They've been very successful playing. They won in our gym this year, and so they're a tough team. Coach does a great job over there. I think it'll be a great ball game.
It's Metro and Midwestern at 2:30. The winner of those games will play at 5 o'clock on Sunday in the semifinals. In the bottom part of the bracket, at 6 o'clock, it's your Tarleton Texans taking on St. Mary's. We will talk about that game shortly. And then the 8:30 game, the final game on Saturday, the number 4 seed Colorado Springs. They defeated Metro by 17 points in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Championship game, taking on number 5 seed Colorado Mines. And everyone in that game, Coach, will get a chance to see Derek White for Colorado Springs, one of the best players in the nation.
Yeah, he's a great player. And both teams, they've seen each other quite a bit this year too. So it's going to be a tough game for it'll be a great game for them out of the Rocky Mountain Conference, and one of them has one of the premier players in the nation, and it should be a great game to watch them play.
So the winners of the 1-8 game and the 4-5 game at 6 and 8:30 will play at 7:30 on Sunday night. The winners of the game on Sunday will play in the regional championship at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. Coach, some have said this could be the toughest region in the nation. You have all 8 teams with over 20 wins. The teams combined have 193 wins and 46 losses. One of the tougher regions that you've seen in your experience?
I think it's probably the toughest I've ever seen at this time. I believe there's even a team in our region with 20 wins that didn't even get in. I think that was Pueblo. They had over 20 victories and were not selected. That's pretty tough when you don't get in when you win 20-some games. And so this is going to be a very tough region. There's some outstanding teams. There's some outstanding coaches. It should be, for the coaches, it's nerve-wracking. For the fans, I hope they enjoy having it in Stephenville and seeing some great basketball.
Time now to preview your team's first round game in the 2015 South Central Regional Tournament. A 6 o'clock matchup with the Heartland Conference champion St. Mary's Rattlers. Coach Zelznak's squad making its 4th straight trip to the tournament. When you think about St. Mary's and that program, what comes to mind?
Well, I think about their kids are very gritty. They're very, they really execute well. They play within the system that has been there since forever, since Coach Myers was there. It's a very tough draw for us, but like I've told everyone, there's no one easy in this tournament. It's what they call it, the NCAA tournament, March Madness. You can take seeds and throw them out. And just like the Division I tournament next week, there will be somebody at the 15th to 13th seed or the 14th seed that will knock out a 2 or 3 or 4. So I don't like seeding. The only thing I like about seeding is it's here in Stephenville. Then after that, you can take the seeds and throw it away. Because St. Mary's is not the same team that we saw in November, and we're not the same team they saw in November. And so when you look at stats, you can just throw the stats out because that's a whole different team. They went through a whole season through the Heartland. We went through a whole season through the Lone Star, and both of us have made adjustments and had to make decisions on our personnel through the year. And so, it's just a whole new game, and we have to go back and look at tape. We have to find a way to find a game plan through the tape that we're going to look at, and they're doing the same thing down there, and have a lot of respect for St. Mary's. I've played them a long time, and it's going to be a tough ball game.
Yeah, and if you need proof, folks, that this is going to be a tough game, the last time Tarleton hosted a regional in Stephenville, your first round opponent, St. Mary's, and you won that game by only 6 points.
It's a very tough game.
And that probably tells Tarleton fans everything they need to know about this first round matchup. When you talk about St. Mary's, Coach, you think about rebounding, a +6 rebounding margin, top 30th in the nation. They get to the line. They're very big and they're very physical, but they also have good guard play.
They have great guard play. I think their leading scorer is Marvin Binney. I think he's averaging about 13 points a game, and then they have Marvin Witt coming back, and I think he's averaging almost 13 points a game. Then they got some bigs that really are physical players inside. And so, the good thing is the Lone Star Conference has set us up for this game.
Yep.
We've had to play the Angelos and the Commerce of the world and the Midwesterns of the world and even other teams in our league that are just I think about Kingsville and how hard their kids play every night. And so we've had a tough schedule, and that schedule hopefully puts us in position that we're going to meet a very good team, but we've played good teams all year.
It's the Texans and the Rattlers in the quarterfinals of the 2015 NCAA tournament Saturday night at 6 o'clock from Wisdom Gym. We'll take our final break. When we return, Coach and I will wrap up this edition of the Coach Lonn Reisman Radio Show when Tarleton Texan basketball continues right after this. Oh, what a great live audience from Brunner Motors this week. I want to let you know our next show will be on Friday. I've got the date written down here Sunday. Friday, March 20th. So regardless of what happens at the NCAA tournament, the next Coach Lonn Reisman Radio Show, Friday, March 20th at noon, right here from the lobby of Brunner Motors in Stephenville. We want to say thank you to our live audience here at Brunner Motors. We're going to give away 1 car wash and then 2 Tarleton t-shirts or hats. You get your choice of a t-shirt or hat. Our first winner, Melinda Lowler. Melinda, if you'll find Terry there, give Melinda a hand. Thanks for being here, Melinda. Everybody give her a hand. Royce Harmon. Royce, come on down. Royce and Danny Walker. So, Danny, come on. Danny, Royce, and Melinda are 3 winners. Thanks to Brunner Motors for the car wash and the Tarleton Athletic Department for the shirts and hats. Some Tarleton athletic announcements. The Tarleton Texans finished the year 17-10 overall. They fell to Texas women's by 8 in the first round of the Lone Star Conference tournament. And even though they didn't receive that at-large bids, Coach, it seemed like a real positive first season for Coach Wilson. Would you agree?
Yes, I think she did a good job, Casey. They really were the 8th ranked team in the region. I think they probably got bumped because of an upset in the RMAC that created a spot for that automatic berth. And so tough time for them, but I thought our girls played very, very hard and really were in every game they played this year. Had West Texas beat here, if you remember. They had hit a 3 to go into overtime. So I think they have a lot to look forward to in the future. They have a lot to look forward to as they recruit in the spring and look for our Texans to come back next year and be in this tournament again.
The weather has really wreaked havoc on the baseball and softball seasons thus far, Coach. Boy, I just hope they have enough games to qualify for the NCAA.
we'll have to get waivers, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I
It's
mean,
been something else.
it's been very tough on them, and hopefully we'll get some good weather now and as we get into March, and they can get on some type of when you don't play for 10 days and you play, it really hurts your, getting into a pattern and getting into some continuity in the way you want to play the game. So hopefully they'll get into a rhythm so they can keep their rhythm, get back to playing baseball, softball, tennis, and golf both, and track.
Everything. Yeah, the Texans on the baseball side, 7-6 overall. They lost 2 of 3 to Angelo State this past weekend. Coach Conger's squad will return to action at 3 o'clock on Friday at home with a 4-game series with Cameron at the Cecil Ballou Baseball Complex. The Texans softball team 9-11 on the year, and they'll travel to Laredo tomorrow for a doubleheader with Texas A&M International beginning at 1 o'clock. In track and field, the Texans and Texans combined to record 85 top 8 finishes, including 12 first-place finishes and 2 NCAA provisional marks during Friday's Tarleton State Invitational and the first meet of the outdoor season. Thanks to everyone that made it out on Friday to support Pat Ponder's teams. For complete results and information on all Tarleton athletic programs, visit tarletonsports.com. Again, the NCAA South Central Regional Tournament at Wisdom Gym this weekend for the first time since 2008. 4 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, and 1 game on Tuesday. We went through the game times earlier. Remember to visit the Tournament Central website. If you go to tarletonsports.com and you click on the NCAA Basketball Championship logo on the top right of the website, you'll see it in blue. That will take you to the Tournament Central website that has ticket information, the bracket. It's got live stats, live video. Those webcasts will be free on tarletonsports.com. For tickets, visit the Tarleton ticket office and listen up carefully. If you are a reserved chairback seat holder, you have until 5 o'clock today to claim your seats. Call 254-968-1832 or see Beth in the ticket office. But you have until 5 o'clock today to get your reserved chairback seats for the tournament. If you don't get them today, then they'll be released to the public at 8 a.m. tomorrow. General admission ticket sales will begin tomorrow. Again, call 254-968-1832 or visit the Wisdom Gym ticket office for ticket sales. The next broadcast of Tarleton basketball Saturday night at 6 o'clock from Wisdom Gym against number 8 seed St. Mary's. We'll have a special edition of the pregame show. We're going to start 30 minutes before the tip. We will talk with Associate Head Coach Chris Reisman. We'll also visit with St. Mary's Head Coach Jim Zelsnak. We'll have starting lineups and keys to the game. So if you're at the gym, bring your headset along. The pregame show at 5:30, and you can listen to the broadcast here on the flagship station of the Tarleton Sports Network, 90.5 FM in Stephenville, Granbury, or Fort Worth, or around the world at tarletonsports.com/listen live. Thanks to the pizza place in Stephenville for providing today's food. A big thanks to Davinae Carter, our special guest. Don't forget to vote for Carter 3 times today and 3 times tomorrow before noon at darkhorsedunker.com. Get your brother, get your sister, get your uncle, get your aunt, get your girlfriend, get your ex-girl, get everybody you know to vote for Davinae Carter at darkhorsedunker.com. I want to thank our producer, Aaron Young, back in the KTRL studio. Aaron's final show to produce for us. Great job, Aaron, all season long. We really appreciate that. Our on-site engineer, Mr. Jody Lee Cottle from KWBY Radio to my left, and of course to the Bruner Auto family for sponsoring the show. Last but not least, thanks to each and every one of you for listening and for your support of Tarleton Athletics. Coach, time for our final question. I asked it to Carter. I'll ask it to you. You've hosted this tournament 3 times. Contrary to what some think, this is not your first rodeo. Does it put more pressure on a team when you host it?
Well, Casey, I mean, there's you want to win in front of your home fans. There's no doubt about that. It's you want to take the opportunity that you've been given in this. And so sometimes it can be like that, but I think what we have to do is go out there and understand that we've worked hard to deserve to play at home, and whatever happens, happens. And I think our fans will be there to support us, and we're going to play as hard as we can play, and we're going to go out there and give it our best shot. And we're going to take it 1 game at a time, and like we've done all year long. And I know our fans are going to be behind us on Saturday night, and we're going to go play as hard as we can for them.
Coach, as always, thanks for your time. Best of luck in the tournament this weekend.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for this 10th edition of the Coach Lonn Reisman Radio Show. For the 27th year head coach of the Texans, I'm Casey Hogan saying so long from Bruner Motors in Stephenville. Until next time, have a great week, everyone. And I'll talk to you at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday night from Wisdom Gym.